transracial adoption.
Okay.
That's something that you are an expert at, and I'm not. So what are do you have specific thoughts on transracial adoption? Something you want to share?
Yeah. She's all about the transracial adoption. I think my main point about it is that it's easier than you would expect. I think a lot of people have this fear of physically looking different than their child, and it's such an unfounded anxiety. I think people build it up in their heads to be worse than it actually is, but it's made our family so much richer. It's helped build our social circle, and it's helped us feel way more connected to our community. And in that way, I almost love it even more than if I were to have given birth to a biological child. I think it's enriched our lives in ways that we didn't necessarily expect, and the good definitely outweighs the bad.
Okay. So what are a couple of the challenges that you have experienced?
The biggest challenge has definitely been strangers' feeling of entitlement to pry into our lives. So we'll be out at the grocery store and people will say probing questions like, how much did she cost? Or are they really brother and sister, in reference to her older brother? And it's not that they're necessarily trying to be rude, but there's something about us kind of looking different than the mainstream typical family that makes them feel more comfortable asking probing questions. And so at first I felt like I owed these people a response, that I was kind of a voice for adoption, and so I always wanted to be gracious and welcoming. And it's only been recently, since we completed our second adoption, that I felt like I'm an ambassador to our family and nothing else. And these people aren't owed an explanation. And so I kind of play it by ear. If I'm in the mood to kind of chat a little bit and I'm feeling good about how our day is going and the kids aren't melting down, I might engage and say, yes, they are really brother and sister because they are both our children. Or, they were born in Atlanta or LA, and that's kind of where the conversation will stop. That has honestly really been the biggest hurdle so far, which has surprised us. I mean, it's been able to be taken in stride, and I think we'll face more issues in the future, but it's nothing we can't handle.
Are you anticipating any other challenges in the future, and are you doing anything to prepare for those challenges?
We definitely think that as our kids get older and kind of build their social circle, it won't be the first thing out of their mouths to their friends that their parents are white, because we hope to raise our family in a normal way, in a way where we acknowledge race and respect our different races, but it's not a thing. And so I think Andy, my husband, and I talk a lot about how, like Ambrose bringing home a girlfriend and meeting their family, and if that girlfriend is African American, surprising their family, like, oh, you've got white parents. But even then, I wouldn't say it's a challenge. I mean, like I said earlier, it's not as hard as people build it up in their heads. And we make an effort not just to expose ourselves to Black culture, but to all different cultures. So East Indian culture is huge where we are, Asian culture. And so just to have diverse surroundings, I think, is kind of preemptively dealing with any potential issues we may have in the future.